Beloved Creator of all that is, we are amazed at duality and what it represents. For beauty is seen only because of ugliness, and greatness is only known for its lack. And emptiness and fullness are born of each other. Difficulty and ease create one another. Long and short grow out of each other. High and low reflect one another. Sound and listening complement each other. Front and back follow one another. And on it goes. Thus the wise pay no heed, their acts without words showing the way. So do all things flow without thought, creating without possessing, acting without attachment, achieving without claiming achievement, existing without laying claim to existence. Thus moves all life unto eternity. And so it is.
Hello, my name's Ron Vroom, and I'm the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. I just read, or actually it was yesterday, listened to SG Anon on Rumble and his resignation from RUSA. Excellent. Well done. The only errors I find are errors of omission. Yes, there is martial law called the Lieber Code. It's been in effect since 1860, whatever it was, 3 when they wrote it. But we've been under martial law since March 1861. The first one out of martial law was Indiana. They did that in 1865 when the Supreme Court came up with Ex parte Milligan. Ex parte Milligan says there cannot be martial law on a state on the land if there is a civilian common law court of record. Indiana had one, therefore there was no martial law. And they didn't hang the 5 guys that tried to get the Confederate prisoners out of prison. That's a little omission that really needs to be taken care of. The next little omission is Article 1, Section 1. An article is written in all caps, and it's in the state's constitutions. Article 1, Section 1. A social compact is needed to take control constitutionally of a state. And we did that on Oregon. And you can't do that until you've done Ex parte Milligan. You have to have a court. And the court has to be an Article 3, Amendment 7 court. Now, if you're going to look for Article 3, you have to look for Mukini 303. Type that in, Mukini 303, and you'll find how difficult it is to have an Article 3 court. We have one on Oregon. We did the work. We know what we're doing. So, errors of omission when you're making a document like that are very important. In his case, it was not that important because he was writing specifically to an entity to resign, and he was documenting what he needed to be documented. But that is not the blueprint on how to become a state. We have 32 states and 17 territories. There's a specific way that you can remove your state from martial law and bring it back into a constitutional Republican state among the several states. It's all written out. It's published on www.orsja.org. So kudos to SG Anon for the well-written, well-researched, and excellent document that he provided. However, I'd like to go over it with him point by point to illustrate the errors of omission so that we can have a document on how to properly return to a constitutional republican form of government. Article 4, Section 4. There's a path, there's a way. You can't just wave a wand. It can be done on paper in 30 days. That's all. Took us 6.5 years. But all the paperwork can be done simultaneously in 30 days. So I agree with SG Anon that RUSA is not the way, and it is defunct. It failed when they put Tim in jail. All the rest of it is brouhaha. Brandon lives in Kaiser, and he's going to check out the missionary or the church. I called them yesterday. They're only open Monday through Thursday. I could give a lot more information on errors of omission, but until ex parte Milligan's taken care of on the several states, and then Article 1, all cap, Section 1, upper and lower, in our state's constitutions, until that happens, there isn't going to be any reconstitution. Congress assembled in the de jure, as he was talking about, can only happen when there are several states. To return to a several state, you got to do a few things, because they've had, since 1860, color of law and functioning with it. People talk about the military. The Army is part of the problem. The Army is what put us into martial law for Lincoln with the Lieber Code. It's never been removed. It's still in the Army's document that's recorded in the Army Heritage Society's documents in 2018. Then Biden did away with the Army Heritage Society, closed them down. They have too much information. I yield.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying, and then he jumps out of the car, and he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, to shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I fought. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, shot him 3 more times.